Court, don't you ever feel like we see the same Halloween movies every single year? I mean, there's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Silence of the Lambs, but people never talk about The Visit.
What's that one about?
So this film premiered last year and was from the same producer as Paranormal Activity, The Purge, Sinister, and Insidious. 15-year-old Becca and younger brother Tyler say goodbye to their single mother as they board a train and head deep into Pennsylvania country to meet their grandparents for the first time. Nana and Pop Pop seem welcoming and charming at first, but the discovery of a shocking secret leaves the audience wondering how the children will ever make it home. The seemingly paranormal activity the grandparents are exhibiting is revealed when in a Skype call with their mother at the end of their stay, spoiler alert, the children learn that those aren't really their grandparents. The Nana and Pop Pop they had been staying with were escaped patients from a nearby mental hospital. The imposters murdered the real Nana and Pop Pop, who were regular volunteers at the hospital out of jealousy of the happiness they had for the impending visit of their grandkids. The twist is incredibly bizarre, but definitely had me on the edge of my seat and caught the audience off guard.
Yeah, I'm no expert on horror films, but I really wish that people would watch The Call. It came out 3 years ago and starred Halle Berry and Abigail Breslin. Berry played Jordan, who's a 911 operator who essentially caused this girl to be murdered after a bad call, as they call it at the headquarters. So she retires from that position and now gives tours of the operation. That is, until she overhears a 911 operator struggling to help a victim. Berry takes over the call and finds that Casey, played by Abigail Breslin, is a teenage girl calling from the trunk of a kidnapper's car. What I really like about this movie is from that moment on, the movie occurs in real time, spanning what Casey experiences over the course of that hour. The call is frightening, but only because this is a real situation that really happens. And while the movie's really suspenseful, it's not the kind of pop out at you scary that can be kind of cheesy. I found myself so nervous for Casey and cheering on Jordan with everything in me.
Whoa, I've never seen that one. I might just have to rent it after this.
You should.
Have I ever told you about Hush? So it premiered this year at the South by Southwest Film Festival as an old-fashioned home invasion thriller that works on its own modest terms. Writer Maddie Young, played by Kate Siegel, lives a life in utter isolation after losing her hearing as a teenager and existing in a completely silent world, away far in the woods from society. One night, her fragile world is shattered when the masked face of a psychotic killer appears in her window. Without hesitation, the torment begins as our unknown assailant begins relentlessly hounding the woman, moving from door to door looking for an entrance. He disables her car, he cuts her power. He's left her completely isolated from the outside world, and her disabilities are going to ensure surviving such an encounter is nearly impossible. The general lack of score is genius, as writer-director Matt Flanagan's decision to shoot certain sequences in complete silence. Those moments help us to relate to Maddie even more than the audience already does. Kate Siegel's performance is absolutely jaw-dropping. This is about as close to Oscar-worthy as it gets when it comes to horror films.
I cannot believe I almost forgot to mention The Uninvited. I spent a good portion of my middle school years trying to get all my friends to watch it with me. The movie follows Emily Browning's character, Anna, who's returning home from a hospital after her mother's death. Anna is met with a huge surprise when she returns home. Her father has decided to get married, and to the woman that cared for and killed her mother. And while she's devastated, her older sister Alex is furious. So the two sisters set out to prove to their father that their new stepmommy Dearest is actually out to get them next. And I'm sad to say that what I love most about this movie is something that I cannot share, the plot twist. Now, I personally pride myself on figuring out movies, and I never saw this one coming. I'm talking rewatch the whole movie over kind of plot twist.
Well, that's about all the horror I can take for one night,